Oil tank gauges are a lot like doorbells in this country. Probably 50% of them actually function 100 accurately and properly. And I say that because the science hasn't changed that much over the last 40, 50, 60 years. And the way an oil tank gauge is designed is that there is a rod on a swing joint down in the tank, and on the end of the swing joint is a piece of cork that floats on top of the oil. And when the oil tank is empty, it is all the way down, and it turns the gauge, whether you have the hi-hat style or the circular, to the empty side. When the tank is full, the cork is up, and over the years, they have a tendency to soak up a lot of oil. Tank gauges have been in the same tank and in that environment for 30, 40 years, and sometimes the cork slides on the gauge, on the rod a little bit. And therefore, when it's full, it might read 7/8. When it's empty, it might still be reading 1/8 of a tank to 1/4 of a tank. They are really, from an oilman's perspective, I've always said it was one of the worst things ever invented. That if nobody had gauges, everybody would be on automatic delivery, and we really do a great job of monitoring our customers' tanks and being there to fill their tank in advance of any problems. There are new gauges coming out today that sonically read and actually Wi-Fi transmit to the company. They're not dirt cheap. They're in the $150 range and up, but they serve that purpose. But the old mechanical gauges, they're great when they're brand new, but over years, like anything, they don't work quite as accurately as they should. And so consider your gauge to be an estimate. Try to leave yourself some leeway. If it's reading 1/4 of a tank, you might have a little bit less. Make sure you get a delivery in a timely fashion. And when the driver leaves after just filling it and it reads 7/8, understand that that's probably the built-in deviation because that cork has moved a little bit. So again, look at them, think of them like doorbells. Half the time, they're actually working properly.